Hey, yo. This is from Reno, yo. Right? So, in this video, yo, we're gonna give you guys an update, yo. Right? Last time I told you guys I'm going to New Zealand. First passport that I got. Trying to go back driving truck 5 times. And then landed in Boise, got the passport. And then that passport lasted me from Australia, 4 cities in the Middle East, and India. So then I needed a new passport when I landed in Boise, Oregon, Boise, Idaho, and then Boise, Oregon. So we were just importing, and then we got the passport sent to Florida. Okay? So it adds up to New Zealand because first time I drove a truck, you know, right? The Nazis in the state of New York behind the academic system. Now listen close, you know. Couldn't stop getting on their phones, you know, all right, because I was driving the truck, you know. And people saying, well, that's why Palm Syndrome happened to begin with, you know, all right? You guys have no idea what's coming, you know. I haven't had a single chance to deal with my situation. The whole ritual, the whole situation, I haven't had a chance to put it all together. Alright? 15 mushrooms, yo. Scale Shaitan, attacking America from Russia. Scale Shaitan sounds like school suing you. That $18,000 that I made driving the truck the first time. And every phone call from New York while I'm driving the truck. That's why it's called Phonesia. Where the Didi Moloch was worshipped, you know. And then the Nazis can't stop getting on their phones now. So I was driving the truck. And that's why Palm Syndrome happened to begin with, you know. But it's a scale chain attacking my fraud with the guy's Palm Syndrome, you know. The Russian mom gets involved when Hercules Gulu Nashvili, you know, is his code name. To send the Palm Syndrome, you know, all the way from the thing from the creek. He's a baby bat at the Lloyd's house from Thing Freak Dad. I'm trying to say this is going to be illegal every time they get on their phone while he's driving a truck, you know. All the way from the thing from the creek. With Sue and Bill right there saying you better get Dad Zoo to school, you know. And Bill's coming to shoot the zoo up, you know, right? To then saying then their Bill's coming to shoot their zoo up in California when they deal with the illegal. James Rose going back to driving a truck. So James driving truck New York, James going back driving truck California, the California side of the ritual. The mushrooms, the blank elephants hit them behind the zoo, you know, with jacks, you know. Serpent wakes up his mothers. It's for my lawyers and it's with Palm Syndrome for I'd rather be named Fred, yo. Alright? That Russian mom said that Palm Syndrome, different from California. That's kind of what there's a no there, but no, it's Bill comes shooting the zoo up. And sending the Palm Syndrome to front of California. But before that happened, every phone call from New York while I was driving the truck, yo. Don't go nowhere, yo. Hold on, yo. The mushrooms that did that, they hit them behind the zoos. With jacks, yo. With knocks, yo. Hey, yo. Never trust a knock, yo. Right? $50 mushrooms got gunned down in Christchurch, New Zealand. Now, when 50 mushrooms, yo, and then I took 3/8 of Muslims and said I'd rather be named Fred. You guys remember this? How this would happen, yo? There's so many things. There's so many details, yo. To the knowledge of the mushroom ritual, Racket Barrett Mills founder ritual. Then there's the Green Goblin situation. Then there's the Sushi Ito ritual. There's a situation in Hawaii and Australia. And then in Hawaii, it was a Lili Aoleele, as in Hercules Guru Nashvili, saying there's a scaled shaitan talking about with the rocket barrel connection in Connecticut. This is what's happening. We're just giving the entire situation to trucking companies now. And I'm trying to make money driving the goddamn truck to do something with the entire situation. We're just giving the situation, all these groups, I can't do anything with the situation. All right, I'm not making enough money. It took me 8 years to make $6,000. All right, 50 mushrooms got gunned down in Christchurch, New Zealand. These mushrooms behind the zoos, behind the academic state of New York, getting on their jacks. His man's driving a truck. The mushrooms thinking it's funny. He's probably every time the phone. That's why Palm Steering would happen. 911, 911, 911, 911. It's got to be El Beagle. Right? Arizona, they know about beagles. What happens if your beagle gets ill? Now you got an El Beagle in New York. Well, he's driving a truck. You got an El Beagle in California trying to go back driving a truck. Right? And then the Russian County Draculas in Chicago, they want to deal with El Beagle also. And don't like City dealing with El Beagle because I'm driving truck, go back drive truck also. But let's forget about so after it's all said and done, I'm getting a new passport. That last passport was for India, 4 cities in the Middle East, including Addis, Cairo. We did Riyadh, and then we did Abu Dhabi, Australia, and all those places was the first passport. The second passport we're thinking because that happened right when I drive the truck. That's why 50 mushrooms get gunned down in Christchurch, New Zealand. Right when I drive the truck, they say these mushrooms, blank elephants into my zoo, with jacks, and thinking it's funny. These mushrooms, thinking it's funny. They blanked elephant into my zoos with the jacks. While I'm driving the truck. That's why Palm Steering happened. I got a scale chair attacking microphone with the guy's Palm Steering drug. Russian mobs getting involved, send the Palm Steering drug to California for Fresno, NOLA, Fresno, Fresno integrates to Northern NOLA, I got Ill Bill come shoot the zoo up, And people trying to say, the first thing that happened is 50 mushrooms get gunned down in Christchurch, New Zealand. I got a scale chair attacking microphone mushrooms with my Palm Steering drug, Every time a scale shaitan sounds like what? A scale shaitan sounds like school suing. Gotta get these dudes schooled now. They're doing an Ill Beagle. Bought by lawyer. Gotta get these dudes, get the money to the lawyer. Now I'm owed $31,000 between New York and Chicago. Because then these Russian County Dragons in Chicago, they blank bunch of elephants too. Get him on the fucking zoo. Got me paying for this shit. I paid $31,000. Russian County Dragons. It's dog, There you go. So, man, we at work, go back to work. We don't understand the concept. People have anything else to do, though, but be at work, go back to work, People got shit to do, Other than be at work, go back to work. We group people together with digital devices, Japan's laughing, we're doing the Yendas. We went up to Yendas for a reason, What are they doing with digital devices? What happened in Bonnie Beach, and all of a sudden, news. Right? You following it? That happened, and then that was all over social media. Yendis, reverse, okay, add it up, and that happened, right? Why? Because it's a diss on America from Japan. What they do with those devices, all we know is those devices matter at work, go back to work, All right, holy shit, The first thing to have 50 mushrooms get gunned down in Christchurch, New Zealand. I get to put this in scale and attack my friend. Every time I leave this country, I fly to Australia. First of all, they wrap in New York more than 50 cents in Melbourne, Australia. All right, think about it, and then Rick, and then the Sushi restaurant chain into Mexico. Then there's the Sushi ritual. Then there's the Grab Rob Knowles. Then some shit happened with Indian medicine and insects and fucking Punjabis and the fucking Kalmei typhoon happened in the Philippines, And then Bondi happened, and then news, And then there was the Ethiopian thing. And then we visited India because we got a little bit of beef with India and the truck industry in America. Where they can just make money driving truck, no problem. Look at my problem. Look at my truck driving career. My trucking career is what? What happened to my trucking career? Takes me 8 years to make $6,000. It's anything but me using the money to make driving truck. Alright? Listen, every time, listen to this. Wait. Every time, every time that I try to leave this country, I fly to Australia, a bill comes to the zoo up in Prague. I was brought by a lawyer from Manhattan to the zoo in Rochester, New York, MCC, where it all started. Saying this is going to be a no big while he's driving truck. Scale saying talking about for money. He went to Prague for law school. So when I leave the country, for Melbourne, Australia, Fiddy's there. They rep in New York more than 50 cents. The lawyer went to Prague for law. I get to Australia, a bill comes shoot the zoo up in Prague. Prague had a bill comes shoot the zoo up. That's the first time I flew out of America, with a scale shaitan school, with scale shaitan sound like, sounds like school suing, Get the zoo school, get the money, when it brought in, what Palms team happened to begin with, Every time I leave this country, it will come shooting zoo. No, wait, seriously, wait. I fly to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I land in Chicago. It's taken me 7-8 years to make money driving truck at all. To do anything with my life. You think I've dated a woman? Have you ever seen James George date a woman? Since fucking Claire Dames told me something to wire to blow everyone. Alright, but forget about that, That's nothing I'm getting accused of, Alright? Sending fucking stupid idiot and whining boy everyone, She's still there blowing people, Yeah, Alright? Every time I leave this country, so now I land in Chicago there was like a year news thing where Russian contractors in Chicago were almost being accused of some serious shit, And 60 Minutes has super ego all over social media, all across the country. What the fuck is wrong with these Russians in Chicago and their stupid truck company, and they're dealing with a nil big, Alright? So now it's on 60 Minutes, and then what I'm saying is they were the super ego, or they're accused of controlling NOLA, what happened in New Orleans. The run truck in Chicago being accused of controlling the New Orleans, event that happened in New Orleans. So that 60 Minutes shit, that's not the whole story, You guys are missing the story, I'm in Chicago, I'm like, screw this, I'm actually leaving. Led up to like a bunch of news. Sweeney Todd, I led up to him. I'm doing a bunch of things with news. Now, what the fuck's gonna end up on the news? We're thinking Russian contractor is gonna get smacked all, Alright? And he owes people fucking money, and the Russian contractors gotta owe people money, and these trucking companies just gotta owe people fucking money. And SMAKD OLAD is what we just said. We're thinking that the ritual that it planned out, the knock that's knocking, you understand? I'm just knocking, that's occupied, from Russia, that's occupied on this country, did this ritual with my 18 grand. First thing that happened, so that's why we're saying once I get the second passport, we're trying to fly to New Zealand now. But wait, Wait, because it has to do with the Aotearoa thing at the post office in Honolulu. If you get mail coming to Honolulu, you're dealing with the post office in Honolulu. That's why it's AOLELE, because there's a Russian mom guy that's got a scale chain on. There's Russians over here, around New York area, and then there's the Russians in Chicago. They both deal with the same scale chain on South America from Russia. That sounds like school suing for a reason. Alright, that's tearing my ass up. Wait a second. Whoa, AOLELE, post office in Honolulu, Why is that AOLELE that? Because I had money coming in the mail. What happened with my money? Once again, attacking me from Russia. And that's why that was my idea. And I had the Russian mobs and the Palm team in French California. We did bill come shoot to up. For the Fresno, based on the NOLA event, and I live in NOLA. And then Fresno and LA creates another NOLA, Wait a second, because we're about to fly to New Zealand because we're trying to dodge the dirty spick tattoos, right? We're trying to get the tattoos from New Zealand, all right? So we're trying to avoid Spanish-speaking country. We're trying to just get to Auckland, New Zealand, where it's nice and peaceful and stuff, you know what I mean, right? Wait a second, wait for it. I'm in Chicago, I'm gonna try to move to Ethiopia, fuck this shit. I'm on a fucking flight in Ethiopia. Call up my fucking grandma. I need more of my grandma's fucking money, I'm trying to fly to Ethiopia. I'm trying to leave this country now. Because, goddamn, it just took me 7-8 years to make $0 the time I'm in truck driving the entire time. I do 23 dishwashing jobs. How much of a social thing it is? I drove a fucking truck. Where's my money at? That's what I'm saying. Earnings Google, Nashville, Iraqi Barrett Meal Connection in Connecticut. From Albar Meal, then the Albas goes back. All the links. Wait, kiddo, wait. The Aotearoa thing in Honolulu, and then Aotearoa in New Zealand. Wait a second, kiddo. When I fly from Chicago to Addis Ababa, saying I'm gonna write 28 pages on Tumblr, that Nazis are controlling people's lives in America with the thing scale chain from Tag from Russia. If Bill comes shoots you up in Tumblr Ridge, I land in Addis Ababa. Tumblr steals my writings. I write 28 pages, post on Tumblr. Tumblr steals my writings, deletes my account. Tumblr Ridge in British Columbia, Canada now. If Bill came and shot the fucking zoo up in Tumblr Ridge, British Columbia, right when I landed in Addis Ababa. There's a scale attack marathon. Right, every time I leave the country, I leave the country to go to Melbourne. If Bill came and went and shot a zoo in Prague, I already gave you the explanation. I try to leave, again, with the same passport. And then how the passport, that I got in Boise, I was in with the book doing at the library in Boise, X Defense, Get away, X Defense, Says right there on Facebook, James Ross the Fed, Right? X Defense, That's not the funniest thing, Right? X Defense, what happened in Boise when I got the passport after I tried to go back to my truck 5 times, did 23 dishwashing jobs, realized I'm flying to Australia. And Bill came trying to do Brown. I'm in Chicago now after I return, Sushi at a Ritual, Grab Rob Knowles, Philippines, Hurricane Cal Maggie, Dad Ritual, holy shit, I'm trying to just earn paychecks driving these trucks, bud. With these drug companies, they're trying to give my entire situation to these drug companies second-hand a fucking paycheck, I gotta make money, do something with the entire situation, don't you think? I fly to Addis Ababa as in Rib Hadi, King of Bimlos, Syro-Palestinian Prince of Bimlos, personally Nuwaganon, Rib Hadi, Tahadi right in the book Doom. Name Jameis right the fuck there. What's happening? Why it's named Addis? Kano's Hadi, which implies violating Islamic law. I fly to Addis Ababa. Around the time I write 28 pages, how Nazis control people's lives in America. If Bill comes shoots a zoo up in Tumblr Red. Scales hand sound like school suing. Tumblr Red. Tumblr stole my writings, shot a fucking. If Bill went and shot the zoo up. Tumblr stole my writings and had Ill Bill come and shoot the fucking zoo up in Tumblr Ridge, British Columbia. Right? Who remembers what happened in Tumblr Ridge, British Columbia, That's because I just tried to fly to Addis Ababa, Right? Addis Ababa, Ethiopia sends me back to Chicago. I didn't fly to Mumbai a second time. Now I'm trying to move to Mumbai. I'm not saying fuck this, Scale Shade, Aotearoa, tearing my ass up. Scale Shade, attacking my phone. The name Mileto, never trusted knock, Mileto's a knock, Aotearoa, tearing my ass up. Ayo, Scaled Shaitan School suing. Tear, OA, School, A, Scaled Shaitan School, Shaitan suing, kiddo. Get the zoo school, get the money, get away from Manhattan, and Bill already came and shot the fucking zoo in 2 different places, Right? That's why, so we're going from Aotearoa, post office in Honolulu, to Aotearoa, where Scouts Anti-America really likes the name Mileto, kiddo. Yeah, tearing my ass up, And I'm about to go to New Zealand, because right when I drove the truck, that was an illegal in New York. 50 mushrooms got gunned down Christchurch, New Zealand. Baron Ribada came from Biblos before he even knew he was Ribada. Got 50 mushrooms gunned down Christchurch, New Zealand. These mushrooms think it's fucking funny, They blanked elephants, hit him on his zoos, with Abdi shirt, from Rule for Move 3,400 years ago. I'm trying to fly to New Zealand, adds up, and it adds up why it's named Aotearoa now. There you go. I'm not going to New Zealand now, Alright, that's the update, from Reno,